Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit. Heyo, what it do? Welcome back. We're here again. We're doing it again. I need to get better at intros. Anyway, enough of that. Welcome back. This is an Absolute Unit podcast. I'm your host with the most. Something. I might have the most of something. Who knows? I don't. It's episode 12. Holy, a dozen episodes of these, huh? It's crazy. But yeah, we're back. I'm back. I'm bit of a different situation here in our room recently. We've got a cat that just had surgery last Monday, and we haven't heard back definitive results yet, but it sounds like things are going good. She had a mast cell, a big old lump on her back leg that needed to get removed, tested to see if it was cancerous. They said most likely it's not. Haven't gotten definitive results, but that's that. But either way, big chunk of skin got taken off her leg, so we have to restrict her activity, so our bedroom door is closed. She's got everything she needs just up here, but that also means that the other cats are locked out, and they are not liking that. Neither of our other two cats like closed doors, especially my cat. Especially both of them, but my cat especially doesn't like it because I'm behind the closed door, and she gets separation anxiety kind of easy. She love me. She do be kind of loving me though. Dude, speaking of medical things bugging me, the past 2 nights, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an allergy. I don't know what has happened, but the bottom of my fucking foot does not stop itching, and bottom of my feet, most ticklish place on my entire body. Awful. Worst thing ever. I hate being tickled. It's awful. And I have like 2 spots on my whole body that are ticklish, and that's one of them. That's an 11 out of 10. Holy. So like even itching it, unless I'm like doing it rough with my other foot, it tickles. Fucking sucks. But I googled why it wouldn't stop itching, and I assume whenever I Google any medical problem, I'm gonna get, it's cancer. It's cancer. You have stage 4 foot cancer. That's it. That's what I assume I'm gonna get every time. Nope. Not this time. Not this time. Google just decided to assume that my foot is the driest thing on planet Earth. It was like, have you ever put lotion on your feet, you dirty, dry sack of meat? Like, it's showing me pictures, and it looks like they assume my foot looks like a desert tortoise's lips, It's just crusty, cracking. That's what they assume. That's what they assume my feet look like. Just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But, that's how life goes. Sometimes Google knows exactly what's wrong with you. Online doctors, they know exactly what's wrong with you. Sometimes you don't know how to describe things that's wrong with you, so you just guess, and it's wrong. Yeah, that's what's been keeping me awake until 3 a.m. recently, until it just goes away for seemingly no reason. But, I guess it could be worse. Oh man, but on Monday, when Kat was going into surgery and stuff, I had to call out of work because I was supposed to work at 4 p.m. and we needed to pick her up at 4:45, so just couldn't work. Just didn't work out. So it's really interesting. Like the couple days before that day, before Monday, I knew I was gonna have to call out because we scheduled the surgery like last Thursday or Friday, something like that. So I knew I was gonna have to call out, but I worked on Saturday and Sunday, and I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm calling out on Monday to like my coworkers or my manager or anything, because I don't know, it's just weird. They ask me why, but if I just call day of and I say I'm not gonna make it in, they're just like, okay, no questions asked, so that's what I want. But, people are like, are you working Monday? And I'm like, well, I'm on the schedule. It's like Schrodinger's shift, It's like, I know it's not going to happen, but nobody else does. That's not like Schrodinger's cat at all. Nobody knows in his situation. It's bad. It's a bad metaphor. I can't think of another metaphor, so we're going to move on from that. This is just a quick question. I know I'm not the best person to talk about this because, can't smell. Barely smell. I got about 8% smell in my nose. So, I don't know if anyone can answer this for me. Why don't towels, the towels you use after you get out of the shower, why don't those smell like body wash? Anybody want to explain that to me? Why do they smell like towel and not like what you just used to make yourself smell good and clean yourself with? Why don't they smell like that? Or maybe they do. Maybe they do, and I have less than 8% smell. Go smell your towel right now. Tell me what it smells like. If it smells like your body wash, I'll give you nothing. I don't know. I don't have much to offer. This podcast is basically all I have to offer the world at this point in time. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense because I can smell my new soap, body soap that I was talking about last week. I can smell it like when I'm holding it, when I'm using it. But then like I feel like I dry myself off and the towel takes it with it. Like as soon as I dry off, I can't smell it anymore. But my towel doesn't smell like it, so I'm just confused. I'm lost. I don't know where it goes. I don't know anything. Yeah, I really don't know anything. I'm such a fucking zoomer. I think that's a funny term too. Came around when everybody was starting to call everybody over the age of like 29 a boomer. It's so funny. It's boomers versus zoomers. Because, you know, if you're a millennial, you basically don't exist in my mind. I'm sorry. But like, you're just like, your late 20s, early 30s. What are you doing? You know, grow up. But one thing I know that I think oh fuck me, dog. One thing that I know separates, you know, Zoomers from other generations is that I feel like there needs to constantly be some kind of stimulus. Like I've been trying to read more, and even when I read, like just sitting down and reading is kind of tough. Like I can only do a little bit at a time, or else I'm like my brain starts firing on no cylinders, and it's like gotta find something. Because like I don't know, the paper book isn't enough dopamine, not enough chemicals coming out of it. The main way I know I'm a zoomer is because I listen to music while like reading books, or even when I read manga, like comic books, I still need the music. Like I listen to stuff without lyrics in it when I'm reading, because like that's too much. I can't have different words going into my head than what I'm looking at. That's way too much going on. Brain cannot handle it, you know. Head mostly empty. Not a lot of thoughts, so we can't have too many thoughts and too many words going in there at once. Overrides the system. But yeah, it's gotta be a younger thing, right? I don't think anybody back in the day was like, oh, let me put this vinyl record on and sit down and listen to a nice book. Listen to a book. Jeez, read this book. The only time I don't listen to music while reading, I guess, is when I have the audiobook. But is that even reading? Are you listening to a book? I don't know. I just took an English class, and a lot of times he would give us the audio with the written book. And that helps a lot because I felt like I could go a lot faster. But just doing one or the other, it's kind of tough for me anyways. You know, I start getting a little distracted. I start thinking about like, oh, let me get to this page, and then kind of a downhill slope from there. I've even gotten bad at watching movies recently. Movies like more than an hour and a half, I start to drift off, unless it's something I'm really into, and like, but then I drift off early because I'm waiting for the ending. I'm waiting for the climax. Like I was watching King Kong. Oh, what's it? It's Godzilla vs. Kong, the new one. And yeah, there's just like a bunch of, you know, I love Godzilla movies. I love monster movies like that, huge kaiju monster movies. But I hate it when they do a lot of different human stories. Like there's always got to be like main characters in it, right? That you kind of follow. Not the like very first two Godzilla movies, but all the ones after that, where it's just like Godzilla versus like the original Godzilla versus King Kong, Godzilla vs. Mothra. They did really good of having like two comedians be the main characters, and it was like really funny and fun, but like they also did, you know, good dramatic moments with it, but keeping it light and like funny and just easy to watch, basically intercut in the monster shenanigans, is the best way to do it. Because like this one, Godzilla vs. Kong, there were way too many different human stories. I'd say there's 3 or 4 going on at the same time, and there was some attempt at humor, but there wasn't much well done humor throughout all of them. Like they all felt like they were, you know, way too serious, which I mean, these new movies are definitely a lot more serious. Like the dudes in rubber suits who are just like throwing fake rocks at each other, like it's goofy because of what it is, and it's hilarious. I love that because I love to laugh and, you know, just have fun while watching those movies. But these ones with the crazy good CGI is like what these monsters were always supposed to look like. So that's awesome to see. But oh my god, I've yawned like 3 times while doing this. Anyways, the intercut freaking human stories that are like overly serious and like don't have well done comedy really brings the whole movie down, and that's what makes me want to check out until I hear the good music and I see the big things start punching each other. Dude, Kong projected himself off a building and Superman punched a nuclear dino. Like, what more could you want in a movie? That was enough. If I was actually paying to see that movie, that would have been enough for me. 4th yawn of the podcast, and we are 16 minutes in. I'm gonna blow my brains out if this keeps happening, dude. I'm gonna slam my freaking I'm gonna slam my balls in a waffle iron and scream racial slurs at the top of my lungs. Oh, so I should definitely cut that out. Jesus, that's gonna be taken out of context. I swear that's an audio. It's a SpongeBob deep fake. I swear it's not me. Yeah, I have a really bad habit of like just repeating that kind of stuff, you know? I'm basically a human parrot at points. But the worst one right now is I've just been saying, dude, I walked outside and my roommate had parked a little too close to me, so I knew I was gonna have to like squeeze into the driver's seat of my car. And I said that out loud, broad daylight, noon on a Tuesday. I did that. That's what I did. So I don't know what that really says about me, but I know something's wrong with me because of that. That's all I can say. That's all I can put together fully because of that, you know? Oh man. Let's see. I've got a decent bit of homework I should be working on, but I really just want to play Civ 6. I want to play any video game right now. I've been having a lot of fun playing some of these games recently. I think it's because I stopped playing competitive Valorant. Like I was on the grind for a while, went up to silver, went back down to bronze, went up again, back down to bronze. And it was just rough. It was just rough, like thinking about like the wins and losses, you know, affecting a rank is tough, dude. I hated it. So I've been playing unranked, just casual. Just I play like a different character every time, and I've been having a lot more fun. I'm playing with one of my boys back home too, so that's a lot of fun too. We out here being basically boyfriends. Talk to him about as much as I talk to my girlfriend, so yeah, I could say things are getting pretty serious. Oh my god, dude, speaking of my girlfriend, so she's allergic to fruit, right? It's crazy. I still am in disbelief at some points that she's allergic to fruit. Pretty much every fruit too. Every fresh fruit cooked, she's fine. You know, frozen stuff, she's fine, I think. But so she's allergic to fruit, and the ones that get her the most are melons, you know, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, that kind of stuff. And so I'm at Costco with her, and she's like, oh, we should get some fruit, because, you know, it's kind of cheap here, we get a decent bit. And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever, dog. So she picks out cantaloupes. Oh, and also she's like, she does the knocking on the cantaloupe thing to see if it's good. I don't know how any of that works, but she does it. And okay, so like right when we walked into Costco, there was this lady who was wearing a face shield, you know, instead of a mask. But the face shield, she had glasses on, and the face shield didn't even cover her mouth. Like if I was straight in front of her, I could have put my fingers in her mouth, no problem. Wouldn't have to bend my wrists at all to get under the face mask. That's how just a clear shot to her mouth. So I'm like, not a mask. So me and my girlfriend both see it, and we're like, oh, look at this fucking bitch, essentially is what we say. So then my girlfriend picks out the cantaloupe, and that lady walks up to her and is like, oh, could you do that for me? Like, pick out a good cantaloupe for me? And I was like, no way, it's this lady. You know, definitely within 6 feet of my girlfriend. Luckily, me and my girlfriend are both, you know, very safe. You know, with COVID, still trying to be safe, even though, you know, people are kind of giving up on it. But whatever. So she does it, and then as soon as she does it, I'm like, you should have just told her no. Like, what's she gonna do? Obviously, that's a very awkward few seconds, right? When she's standing there, she's like, oh, kind of joking, you know, very upbeat tone. And you just go, nah, and you walk away. But oh my God, would I have laughed so hard if she would have done that, if she would have just said, nah, you know, definitely not for you. You know, spits at her feet, but it just hits her mask and stays on the inside. You know, the message still gets across. That would have been so hilarious, dude. Out loud, I would have laughed at that woman. Yeah, no problem in my mind. Absolutely no issue with that. Dude, Costco's such a weird place. Like, I love it. I bought 10 pounds of oatmeal for $9, you know, maybe 12, something like that. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Nobody needs that much oatmeal at once. You know, who knows when I'll finish it. A regular tube of oatmeal has a month's worth in it, 30 servings. This thing has 110. I eat oatmeal every day for 4 months and be fine. I'm not going to. I like to break it up at least once or twice a week. But I eat oatmeal 5 days a week, probably. Man, I was listening to a different podcast the other day, and they were talking about everyone who was on had been in theater in high school. And I mean, I wasn't in theater, wasn't really big on it. I wouldn't go to, I don't know, I was in high school, so obviously I thought the other high schoolers doing plays was kind of cringy, so I never went. But I always went to the faculty plays where teachers and some administrators would, you know, be the stars in the play, and that stuff was always fun because we had, you know, some of them would put their all into it. They would go all out, and they were really good. Especially we had a history teacher who like was an actor. He made a movie. I was trying to find it recently, but I cannot remember for the life of me the name of it. But yeah, we watched a bit of it, and seeing your high school teacher in a movie is an odd experience, but it's still fun, right? Yeah. I remember there's one faculty play who, an English teacher, of course it was an English teacher, was pregnant at the time, and she was like so pregnant, like violently pregnant, like due any minute kind of pregnant, right? And she's playing Tinkerbell. Wow, she could fart out a baby at any second, and she nailed it. She killed it, dude. Not specifically at being Tinkerbell, but like just the play in general. She was so funny. She like used it in jokes. She was that kind of teacher though. Like my girlfriend had her the year that she was pregnant, and like first day of class she's talking about how she's pregnant. She's like a couple months in, and then she hits a desk with her belly and falls over and is like, gotcha. Like, who the fuck? Who would do that? Who would do that to 50-year-old kids, 56-year-old kids that are just like crazy? She was crazy, dude. She was nuts. She's a good teacher, great actor too, great actress, I guess. I don't know if it really matters. But yeah, she's kind of a nut job, but also like shout out, good job, keep doing it, you're doing great. Dude, the range of people who are high school teachers is strange, isn't it? I feel like in lower grades, especially elementary school, I feel like there is a type of teacher, Obviously, they're all very different. Some are much better than others, but like you get in a certain feel, remember when everyone feels like they're doing it for similar reasons. But high school, it is all over the place. It's kind of bizarre. Like even teachers that I had just like junior and senior year were all over the place. I mean, I was in, I had a gen ed English class that, every senior just had to take basically. And then I was in, an AP calculus class with 6 kids in it. So I was in the range. I knew the ups and downs of, epic high school football, if you know what I'm saying. But I was in the trenches at some of those points. Like some of those teachers, they just put you through the blender in high school. Like no cares given about you or anything you care about. It's their way to the highway. And other teachers are like, yeah, I'm just trying to get you to learn this material, Whenever you learn it, you learn it. It's crazy. It's hard to go into detail with that without getting really specific, I feel. So we might just be leaving that alone for now, at least. I think about like what a good student I was at some points, and I just think, why? I definitely did work out in some cases. I'll be honest, starting at a community college, going to see degree progress. I haven't even finished my first class yet. I haven't even finished my first term yet, and I'm 45% done. Just because of how much AP classes and like dual credit classes I did with a local community college. Like you see that and then it pays off. I feel and then it feels like it paid off for me, But it's tough. It's a gamble at points for sure. Like all those AP classes, I could have taken all those tests and just, not passed them or not gotten even as high a grade as still passed them, and it would have been worthless. Really, it really would have. But it wasn't. We have to look at the bright side. It wasn't worthless, I got a lot out of it. I got to essentially still finish at the same time as I would have, without those classes, but not having to grind every day, not having to take 4 or 5 classes a term, having to take that 15 credits. Instead, I took 7 or 8 every term and, finished at the same time, which I mean, so thankful for. But I totally understand not wanting to work that hard in high school. Especially college was always the path for me, it seemed like, especially what I want to do. Computer science, it's very hard to get, into some of those positions, like at well-known companies without that slip of paper, without that degree, without that paper, that would be a bit rough, don't you think? Tough. I've been applying to how to get some paid internships because I really don't want to do an unpaid internship. It feels like slavery. Most of the ones that I see are paid anyways, so that's good. But still gotta make sure that they say they're paid. Gotta make sure. But been looking at a lot of those recently, and I just applying as like a 3rd-year college student for those. I don't even get emails back sometimes, right? It's tough, dude. But yeah, still trying, still doing what I can, but can only do so much. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for listening to episode 12 of an Absolute Unit podcast. If you're still listening, you're an absolute unit. Let me tell you something right now. But yeah, thanks for listening. Make sure you check me out on socials at _Travis Hudson. And make sure you tell somebody you love them. See ya. Let me tell you something. This man right here, This man is an absolute unit.